Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of predictions using experimental data. This is standard 7.6C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 32 of the 2016 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have an assembly here. 7 out of 10 students who entered the gym were carrying a backpack. And so based on this information, if 700 students were at the assembly, how many students could be expected to be carrying the backpack? All right, so there's a few different ways that we can solve this, and it is a free response, so there is no F, G, H, or J for us to choose from. So one way would be to use our equation, y equals kx, when we're looking for the rate of change. And so we know that our x is our constant of proportionality. So that is how we change things. And we're going to try to figure that out, because if we can figure out that k, then what we could do is we can figure out what our new number is going to be based on that 700, right? So we start with our independent variable. So this is our starting variable. And so what are we starting with? Well, we start with, and this is always the hard part, is figure out what's the independent and then what is going to be our y dependent. What changes based on our constant of proportionality? Well, we have how many kids enter the gym? 10. Even though that's the second number that they give us, that's how many kids walk in. So we're going to have that as our independent variable. 10 kids walk in. Something happens because not everyone's walking in with a backpack, and our dependent variable is how many kids actually show up with that backpack. So that's going to be 7. So if we want to figure out what this constant of proportionality is, we can divide both sides by 10, and you get k equals 7/10, or let's go ahead and make that 0.7. And they really actually kind of give that to you right here. 7 out of 10. You can easily see that 7 out of 10 right there. So that is going to be our constant of proportionality. Now we can do that with this new one. So we have y equals kx, but we know that our k is 0.7. And in the new one, we know that the x is going to be our independent variable. How many kids are walking in? That's 700. All right, so we could just multiply 700 times 0.7, 0049. Remember, we got a digit behind the decimal. So it looks like it's 490.0, or we can just call it 490. Now, some of you might not have done it that way. Some of you might have said, look, I see 3 numbers with labels. That's a proportion. That's fine. We could do proportion as well. So we could say 7, I'll say B for backpack, 10 T for total. Then you can set that up and you can say, well, we're looking for how many backpacks over, now we've got 700 total. So then we would do a little cross multiplication here. And look what we have. We have 7 times 700 equals 10 times our, I'll call that y, since we call that our dependent variable. So 7 times 700 is going to be 49 with 2 zeros, because we know how to multiply with multiples of 10, 100, or 1,000. And then we need to divide both sides by 10. And look what happens when we divide both sides by 10. We just drop that 0, don't we? And it becomes 490. So 490 is our answer. We just need to make sure we bubble this in correctly. We've got 2 digits to the right of the decimal. We don't need either of those. We just need to use the digits to the left. In this case, it's going to be 490, and that's our answer.